if the internet gods are favoring us, we are live and unemployable with my fabulous bestie. Could we be like unemployable besties?
Yeah, let's do unemployable besties. UBs.
Yes, it's Miss Ashley Gentry.
Hi, Rick Davis.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm actually doing good.
Yeah, well, we got to you got to like schmooze. Like we had a little intermission. We were here bright and early with Travis Lee.
I know. I love him. I love getting to see him. He brightens my day.
Yes, and he's a hoot. I mean, yeah.
That is a great way to say it. We went through TRLP together. That's how we met.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So y'all got like fraternity ties.
Me, Travis Lee, and Christine Burke.
Oh,
we
okay.
were the three amigos.
Yes. Well, I went through TRLP with Patrick.
Oh yeah. So that was
husband of Christine.
I know. See, look,
Yes.
6 degrees of Kevin
Oh, my
Bacon, and
God,
now
yes.
we're besties.
Yep.
And I love Pat.
And we were all in Footloose together.
We were, and here's a funny story. Where was it? Oh, it was at their crawfish boil, and somebody thought he was Pat or something. Or no, my husband actually wrote on his name tag Patrick Burke, and so now it was just the joke. And both of them were kind of toasty at one point. They just thought it was this most hysterical thing in the world that he was Patrick Burke. So yeah, Christine
okay. Well,
calls
now
him
I don't know whether to
husband
call
number
him
2.
Reed or Patrick or Patrick Reed.
Patrick Reed. I mean, he is actually Philip Reese.
Oh, okay.
He's one of those weird Southerners where they name all the kids the first name, but they go by the middle name. I don't understand that.
That is an interesting. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, though?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, like Travis Lee's got a hyphen in there.
Travis Lee Moore.
Yeah, everybody thinks his last name is Lee, but it's not.
It's not.
Right.
I know. Southerners, man. I don't get it.
I was born in Kansas, so it's like I'm not sure. Does that make me a Midwesterner?
It does. And then I was born in Oklahoma. I was born in Tulsa. But you know, see, this is the real way to do it. You name your kid after a soap opera actress.
Yes.
So I am named after Ashley Abbott, Young and the Restless Royalty.
So now was Ashley Abbott the character or the actress?
No, it was the character. And
even better.
She was like a boss lady. So she was the daughter of a major like cosmetic company's mogul. And she was like ascending into boss lady CEO mode.
Okay.
And so my mom, being a young mother that she was like, I want to manifest my daughter being a boss lady. And
well, it worked.
I know it did.
All right, shout out.
And then she wonders, Sherry Feuerbrocker, why I am the way I am. I have to rule the cosmetics industry.
Mild scoliosis notwithstanding.
Oh, thank you so much. But I do like that the chair's taller today. It does feel better on my back. Thank you so much.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You did that for me, didn't you?
I did.
Just do what my husband does. If somebody says thank you for something and nobody takes credit for it, he always says, oh, that was me. It's just nuts.
Which is way better than my historical thing of all the credit, none of the blame.
Oh. Yeah, that's good.
See, like as a child of the 80s, and then my young adulthood was the 90s, the Bill Clinton era, I learned plausible deniability.
I mean, it works.
As a credo.
Well,
yes.
Or if you're a part of the plan of the Illuminati, you can do whatever you want anyways.
Fact.
Thank you.
Fact. Although I knew about it too early. So.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
It wasn't cool then.
I was okay. So
Did you say you were weird?
yes. Yes.
I mean, you are weird.
That is true. So it is still on brand. But yeah, speaking of unemployable, that's one of the things where like somebody says something and you say, oh, I have a tinfoil hat right here.
Oh no, we laugh. We laugh and it's like, okay, do you want me to actually stick it under the hat or do you want it just a little peekaboo?
Just
like
wear it.
just a little peeking out,
Yeah,
right?
own it.
Yeah, no, it's great. But I think the funny part is that there's not a lot of those that are unproven at this point.
Oh.
And I think that is the interesting thing. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole of like social issues or anything else. It's just more of it's an interesting dichotomy of just
so now I'm
social
curious,
experiments.
What is your tinfoil hat origin story? Like, what was the first thing where you're like, hey?
I don't even know, but hold on. There's some judge on this. Is that even when somebody is given, hey, you don't have to sit there and apologize that you believe something and then that's proven not to be true, but they still don't want to believe it when it's proven to be true. You know, and that's, I think, the hard part for the human brain to recognize. Like, it's okay to say I was wrong and
Absolutely.
to reshape that reality. Yeah. And it feels like you do. You feel like you were attacked. You feel like, oh my gosh, how do I do that? But instead of just saying, these are the facts now.
Right.
Double down. Let's double down.
Yes, exactly. It's like, I'm not going to concede. anything, regardless of proof. And I've also found this thing, like the same thing would carry over into my unemployable life where, I got my ass handed to me on the original Dallas location, which you came to. We did the tree pack dance thing there.
That
or
was
whatever.
great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
But it was like super sketch neighborhood that most people would be scared shitless to come there after dark. Yeah. Nobody liked it.
Right.
But like, I don't know, for 6 months, 9 months or whatever, I just pretended it didn't exist.
I know. Isn't that great?
Yes. But then now, with enough space and time in the rearview mirror, I can be like, oh my God, I got my ass kicked on that place.
But then it helped you make more informed business decisions. And I think that's what we can learn from some of this is saying two things can be true at the same time. You still don't like the one person party, what this represents, but you can also say that other person on the other side was completely false.
Yes.
Was a traitor to democracy, to humankind, to our health and wellness, everything else.
Well, yeah. It's like...
Shout out Fauci.
Yeah. Well, and somehow we got to a place where if you don't agree with X, well, then you immediately, wholeheartedly, and with all your being endorse Y. And it's like, well, no.
Do you know that, speaking of Travis Lee, we'll have a conversation. He and I will not have the same perspective on it. And then we look at each other and he goes, okay, you want a glass of wine now? Yeah, I do. And let's talk about something else.
That's exactly how it should be.
And that's it. When did we stop allowing healthy conversations with differing opinions?
It feels like in very recent history.
I think so.
That definitely internet age, and there's the combination of effects where it's like, okay, you have the anonymous tough guy internet keyboard warrior thing,
right?
Where okay, now I can just say whatever because nobody's going to punch me in the face.
Sure.
I grew up in a world where, but I mean, I grew up in a world where like, okay, if you cock off like that in public,
you're going to get hit in the mouth.
Yeah, somebody's going to punch you in the face sooner or later.
Thank you.
And I kind of think that's kind of how it should be.
Yes.
And then you kind of learn, oh, okay, our social contract allows for this. And then when you go over the line, things happen. And they might be unpleasant.
You mean cause and effect, accountability, responsibility for your actions? I know. Oh my gosh, what did I say?
Yes, but now I'm dying to know, what is your tinfoil hat origin story?
Wow, I don't know that it happened overnight. I honestly think it just started progressively. I became more informed, and when I would research something, and then I would research something else, and the next thing you knew. You just like, oh, wow. It's like pulling a thread.
Yes.
Right? Just pulling that tiny little thread. And then the next thing you know, you've unraveled the entire sweater. And I don't even remember which thread it was. I just know that I married someone where our first date was literally 4-hour interview. And it's so sexy. I mean, it really, really was.
Resume on file.
Yeah. Well, because we had both been burned so much. And it was like, yeah.
Although I probably lit a few of the fires myself.
No, you don't say. But for us, it was more of we needed to know that holistically we had the same
in the macro
vantage point. And there are some times where he will come to me and go, hey, let's have this conversation about that. I'm like, I had no idea. And he's like, I know. But because we have a similar lens and how we approach things, we've unraveled that sweater at the same time together. It wasn't like trying to red pill my husband.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not even about politics.
Right.
That's what I think is so interesting with people. And they're just like, can we all just agree they are poisoning us through our food? Right. And everything else that we do. And that, again, is not political. That is trust the science, people.
There can be a data set and facts that exist outside of political affiliation.
Sure.
And like mine is obviously you would have no recollection of Deep Ellum or
of course I
downtown,
do.
but in the 80s.
No, not in the
mid 80s.
No.
So in the mid 80s, it used to be categorically different than it is now.
Okay.
And it was just weird. It was a crazy place and it was like full throttle. And back then in Dallas, you could walk around and drink on the streets and you could smoke cigarettes in places and all of that. So I mean, it was like a lot more freewheeling. But there used to be all these like thrift stores and just like pawn shops and shit like that. And I think it was off of Exposition over by Fair Park. But I can remember being 20 or late teens, maybe 20, and going into a place that was like a thrift shop, like looking for like old rock shirts or whatever, and finding underground zines, like crazy people homemade newspapers and stuff that were like made on the old Xerox machines and shit like that. And walking in, and it was like, you know, Lee Harvey Oswald, you know, CIA patsy or whatever, and seeing that stuff. And I can remember like being like shocked and realizing like, wait a minute. And then my first thought was like, you're allowed to say that? And it's like, whoa, what is this? And then I you know, I don't know, like $1 a piece or whatever. And I buy 2 or 3 of those. And it's just like
doing your good for the world. Buy multiple copies.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, it's like they're put together like a fucking ransom note where it's like all cut and paste. So it's like
my favorite. Can we go back to that? Cutting and pasting letters out of magazines and pictures?
Could we?
So much cooler.
I go down, and it's like, it's weird too, because, you know, growing up here or whatever, it's like, I've never been to the 6th floor museum.
Yeah.
I've never been to South Fork Ranch. I've never gave a shit about any of that stuff. And then to realize like, oh, I'm actually from the city where they killed we killed a president.
Isn't that insane, the reality of that?
Yes.
Yeah, because when I moved here, we moved here when I was going into 6th grade. So I was in 5th grade. And so like, that was just a part of the shtick and everything else. That was probably the one, because my mom was always on that one, was JFK.
Well, 63 years later, they still don't release files.
And that's exactly. And so that's where you just sit there and you go, but let me ask you this. Did you ever feel like, and I don't want to say comfortable, like, oh yeah, going to a museum or whatever else. Like I've always had trouble going and like immersing myself in history. Like always. And I'm a smart person. Like I like to research.
Conceptually, or? Like
I will often walk into a place that is supposed to be fascinating or anything else. And I go,
meh.
Like it's almost like my brain or my whole body is going, I don't know that you're in a real place.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. I've always, well, there again, you know, like late teens or whatever, stoner me goes in and sees like all these pamphlets and stuff.
Yeah.
Part of it, there was another one, there was just like weird shit everywhere.
Everything just feels manipulated.
Yes. And then you go, because there's always the official story. And then, you know, I was whatever in my early 30s when 9/11 happened, and like kind of like watching that in real time. And I was a senior in high school when the Challenger went up, and just like all of these like little landmarks where none of it ever felt like it was true. And
or it felt like we were told a portion of the story and that was the only one we were going to be told, but not the reality of what occurred.
Right. The story was manipulated for somebody else's gain. It wasn't being told to inform us.
And so that's on a super high level when you sit there and do that. But if you actually dumb it down to the environment that we are in for a living, isn't that what everybody does when they want to sell something to somebody?
Oh my God, yes.
They alter the perspective and the reality and generate marketing materials or their sales pitch to make sure that respective person,
the hook. I mean, when we cut this up to post on social media, we will look for the hook.
The hook. And so it's like, why are we so shocked when in our daily lives we actually do this? You know, it doesn't mean altering the truth. It just means that we're giving maybe a more a perspective that you would be more in kind to. Thank you. And that's what I don't. Why is it so hard for people? I think it's so hard for people to go, wait, this isn't all real. And they have to push to this next level of thinking.
Well, yeah, that exactly. Because, oh, shit,
that's really uncomfortable.
I'm going to have to do stuff.
If this stuff isn't real and true, you mean I have to research? I can't just read what the 50% bots are putting on the internet.
That's generous.
I mean, isn't it?
Well, it's so funny because, you know, we have some friends that do like a lot of AI stuff and everything. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I can't wait until YouTube is nothing but robots making videos for robots to comment on.
Well, and the crazy part is that the younger generations, and we've talked about this before, they're the first ones to see through the bullcrap. It's the older, more wisdom-filled, right? We always say that, like, oh, respect your elders and the wisdom that they have and the experience, but they're the ones that are falling for the bag.
Right. Well, and I've always been of the mind, too, that the smarter you are, the easier you are to trick.
Yeah.
You know, because...
No street smarts, just all book smarts.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. The more academically inclined you are, oh, boy.
No.
You know, good luck.
That's the crazy part for me, which is awesome to see Alex's brain at 12 years old and what she looks. And even in the past year, how I've watched, because I've always had concerns over, okay, her consumption and what lens have I given her at this point to be able to process some of this? Yes, we watch Law & Order Special Victims Unit on repeat. We fall asleep to it. We do all these other things. She's very wise. But I also, there's a lot of information out there on cancel culture and all these other things. And so I would get a little nervous because the minute she would find out something negative about an artist that she liked, like singers or something else, she would cancel them. Very black and white. Like, take down the poster. I don't want the vinyl. They're dead to me. Because what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Okay. And that person
we're talking from like, okay.
Else. Yeah, but I've also wanted to caution her that not everything you read.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Where is it? Now, somebody is obviously showing you they are a heinous human being and they got exposed. Yeah, double down all day long.
Like the Harvey Weinsteins of the world.
Yes, but it's, but now I'm watching her and she's looking at both perspectives and she is researching both. She doesn't like it when people try to make the victim the villain. She thinks that's really disgusting.
Yeah, victim blaming is some bullshit.
It is. But then she'll also sit there and go, hey, this isn't making sense. And so I'm really proud of that. And I think the younger generation, because they have so much access to information, they're not just believing it at first pass.
Hallelujah. Well, and the fact that they are sort of migrating back towards physical media.
Yes.
Which I find interesting because I'm the polar opposite. I'm the old guy that would be like, I used to have 1,500 vinyl records.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, I don't want that bullshit in my house.
No, I don't want the stuff. I don't want clutter. But she does. And and why she wants them is because she said they're either pulling certain scenes, clips, or episodes off the internet for whatever reason, or from the streaming services. She's like, that's not right. They're trying to manipulate my reality.
Yes. One of my favorite YouTube rabbit holes is you'll never find this show on any kind of, it's like, if you have this, keep it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
It is.
And, so like 90% of the stuff from like my childhood doesn't exist on physical media, or they made a DVD of it once and good luck trying to find it.
And that's just, it's interesting to me, but that's where it's like, I'm really hopeful because I do see younger people having conversations or saying, I believed this for the last few years. And when I finally saw this person state the facts, it made me research more. They didn't just believe that person wholeheartedly. They started doing their own research instead of believing what was just put in front of them. And I think if somebody says that's bad, then they have ulterior motives, because I think anytime your spidey senses are triggered, right? You should go, hey, I'm just going to ask more questions. That's it. Just ask more questions. That's not wrong. And sometimes you might be led to a different, hypothesis than
or unemployment.
Yeah, or unemployment, which is why make sure you run your own business, right? I mean, that's the crazy part.
Well, and the funny thing is, it's like I don't do any sort of hot takes or anything on the internet. Now I do have like maybe a secret identity or whatever in the nerd world, where like I miss. Do you have any recollection of the old IMDb?
Yeah, but you talked to me about this. We've talked about this before and stuff.
The old IMDb, I think it's like maybe pre-2012, 2015 or whatever, where the comment section was the Wild West. Oh, it was awesome.
The comments are best. That's what my kid does though now, is she'll go on her videos and everything else, and she's not actually looking at the content.
I'm here for the comments.
I'm here for the comments, and that's what she said. Our friends are here.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
They can come in and watch.
Okay. I don't think the door's open.
Oh, yeah. So Zach will have to give us like the 2-shot. And then there we go.
Okay.
Woo. That's producer talk.
Yes, there you go.
So 2-shot for door openings.
I love that.
But I love the fact that half of the youth are just like questioning everything. Yeah. But unfortunately, that means the other half is kind of like, oh, hey, free rent for everybody.
I know. Yeah, you got to find that healthy rent, which is also why, you got to just figure out how to live your life, because you can't sit there. As much as you and I are informed, I will also be the first one that will take myself exit chat, right? don't need to do this. I already know where this is going.
Yes.
I know the robots are going to kill us, right? You got a robot car.
Yes, absolutely.
And doing all that.
Which I love.
Control what I can, which is...
very little, but...
100%, right?
Yes.
And so now you got to figure out how to live by your own creed, right? I mean, is this going to make me more money without, contributing to my downfall? Is this going to be a good outlet for me? Is it going to make me happy? And is it going to contribute to the health of my family? Right. And if it doesn't fit into one of those things, then it's okay to just say, yeah, I don't believe that. However, I'm not going to get entrenched.
Yeah. I'm not going to fight about it.
I'm not going to fight about it. I'm not going to get pulled in a gutter. I'm not going to do all those other things. Because again, going through the path that we're on right now with Alex's health, you just go, it doesn't move the needle.
Yeah. So y'all have had the massive eruption of what really matters.
Yes.
To where in those moments, like everything else falls to the wayside. And it's weird, at least for me, the times that I've had that, where I look at things where it's like, wow, you actually care. I'm almost incredulous. Like, wow, you actually care about that? And then by the same token, 6 months later, I'll get drawn off sides by some stupid ass shit and be right there in it.
I know. But the crazy part is, you hear it when somebody has a heart attack or something else or whatever, but we would never want it to happen to our kid, but it is an interesting dynamic because Reese and I went through this as parents. So while we still didn't do exactly the same thing, through all of this and how we're handling it, our journey together is just bringing us closer as a family because we're in the same trench of it. It's like, this is our kid, right? And the reality and the perspective shift and everything else, which is why you go back to even calendar management. I was laughing with you beforehand. If somebody asks for an appointment, whether it's personal or professional, I literally look at my buffer around 3 or 4 days and go, am I going to cringe when I have this appointment or this lunch? How am I going to react? Am I going to be packed off? I can't go play pickleball. Like, is that really what's going to... I probably am. But those are things that I just realized at 41 years old that this I can control. I can control my calendar. I can control whether I say yes or no. And I can control the fact that I'm going to go play pickleball after this. Right?
Nice.
I mean,
so are you back in fighting shape?
You know what? I wasn't sure if I'm moving a little slower.
Okay.
Because when you sit for like 6 weeks straight and don't move and pickleball with your knees and your hips, I'm gonna have to build some of that up. Dude, it's rough. I'm putting the roll-on cream and everything else on again, which I still shouldn't be doing. Yeah, but no, it's great, and it does remind you though. You've got to find those outlets where you can sweat and laugh and get your heart going the good way, not the bad way, not the amphetamine way. That wasn't, no. But those are things I realized how much for my own physical health and mental health that I need to continue to do while we're doing these things. So, figure those things out find out what sounds so dumb, but if it doesn't make you smile, don't do it.
Yeah. It's either a hell yeah or a hell no.
Thank you.
It's like some of those cliches end up being correct. And it's the same thing in sobriety. It's like, oh my God, I saw the bumper stickers and bullshit.
Don't play in the middle.
Half my adult life.
You don't have to play in the messy middle. Just say yes or no and do it for what's right. And don't worry about missing out or doing anything else. It's only for pictures. And if you don't want to be somewhere, if you don't want to do something, if you don't want to take on a client, if you don't want to do that type of business, then don't.
I learned that early on. So Travis Lee and I were talking earlier and we were like kind of reminiscing about like my then and now on Facebook came up. Park City's MLS 11 years ago. And I told him, I was like, oh my God, dude, that was like the first day of high school every Tuesday. Yeah. When you go in there cold.
I told you that was when I met you, was going into the Wiley sassy one. And I was like, this is high school all over again. And I hate it.
So what I did, it's funny though, what you triggered there was I used to go in, boom, I would take a shot, post it on Facebook and leave.
That's perfect.
And there were weeks that I went in there for maybe 3.5 minutes.
But as long as you were in the picture.
Yep.
It was the reality.
Yes. And everybody was like, and then I started tagging people. Yeah. That was the best.
I know, it's great. And then here we are. Still, you can do that and be in these rooms that nothing is happening at most of the time.
Still ain't got no job.
Still ain't got no job, which is why this has been another great episode of Unemployable.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Always with my friend, my buddy, my unemployable bestie.
Yes.
UBs for life. We'll see you later, bye.
Bam.